This is KUGAN CASSIUS for IFL TV in association with MTK Global. We're at a press conference to discuss the next opponents of Anthony Yarde and also Daniel Dubois. I'm joined by Frank Warren. How are you, Frank?
I'm good. Yourself?
Yeah, all good.
Lovely.
Rather trendy today. People can't see your bottom half.
Oh yeah, well I'm wearing my sarong.
Obviously Anthony Yarde and both Daniel Dubois making big waves, and they're kind of fronting this new era of the next generation for BT Sport and BoxNation. So you pleased? I'll start with Daniel Dubois. You pleased with? Obviously he's had 4 fights, 4 wins, 4 knockouts. Not much to grumble about.
Not at all. I mean, he's only a teenager, as I keep banging on about. He's only 19, and his next fight will be for the Southern Area title. He's fighting AJ Carter, I think, who's a bit of a banger himself, and it's a step up for him. It's another step up for him, and you know, they've made the fight the Southern Area title. They've agreed it, so we're doing it. And for a guy who's only had, you know, he's come up to his 5th fight again. That's another step up for him.
I mean, we spoke about how quickly you would like to move him, but how quickly at this stage do you want to move Daniel Dubois?
It depends who the opponents are and if I fancy the fight and who they beat. I mean, we made an offer to Gary Cornish. You know, we made that offer to him, and he was getting married and anyway, whatever was going on. But so I haven't got, for certain fights, I haven't got a problem. But you know, as I always keep saying, he's only a teenager. He's only 19, and he's got a way to go yet. But he's moving faster than any British heavyweight I can think of in probably in my time in the game.
But in terms of heavyweight boxing, he's basically a baby, isn't he?
He's age-wise, he's 19. That we're moving him. But you know, you've got to be also careful. And when I mean by careful, I want him to learn from his fights. I want him to, you know, everything to be a step up for him. And it's not just obviously the opponents are a step up, but it's also the pressure of the fight. You know, I'm doing 10 rounds. Can I do 10 rounds? I mean, he doesn't know that. He's only a kid. So all that's there for him. So you know, it's a lot of things. But one thing I like about him, he's got a cool, clear head. He's got great composure, and he's not fazed by anything. And I think Martin's doing a fantastic job with him.
Right, moving on to Mr. Anthony Yarde. What's the situation? Obviously, he's the board have put him and Jose Burton to fight, and then the winner of that to take a shot against Frank Buglioni or Callum Johnson. But from your side, what's the case with it?
I don't see this. I don't. First of all, the board have done what they've done, which I think is wrong the way they've gone about it. First, you know, Anthony Yarde, out those 4 fighters, he's the only one with a world ranking. He's ranked number 8 in the WBO, so he's ranked higher than all of them in the world ranking. Same in the ranking. Why on earth do I want him fighting Jose Burton, who got knocked out by Frank Buglioni? I want him to fight Frank Buglioni. Why would we want to go backwards? That's a backward step. I want him to fight the guy that beat him. And I don't need anybody making the matches. That's the fight I want. You and ask any of the press here, what fight would they much rather see? Him, Anthony against Jose Burton, or Anthony against Frank Buglioni? It's a no-brainer. That's what everybody wants to see. That's the fight that, you know, we want to see. The board, if they were going to make fights, and I shouldn't have to suffer as his promoter, and he certainly shouldn't, who's more importantly have to suffer, because the board have decided not to make a match between 2 fighters, managed and trained by Joe Gallagher. Johnson and Burton are both looked after by him. They've split them up and made that fight. You know, Anthony Yarde fights Jose Burton. For me, he beats him. I don't think that's an issue whether he beats him or not. I know he beats him. He beats him. That fight won't take place till end of October, November, because you know, we only can read terms here, go to purse bids, unless he wanted to fight on the 16th of September. But we don't want to be going down that road. And then that fight against Buglioni, providing Buglioni meets Callum Johnson, which I don't think there's any certainty, but providing he beats him, means we're 9 months away. In 9 months' time, he's going to be beyond that, Anthony Yarde. We've moved him quickly already. The guy's only had 12 pro fights, only had 12 amateur fights, and look where we've got him to. He's number 8 now in the world rankings. So he's moving fast. The fight we want is the fight against Frank Buglioni. Forget about the British title. I only want that because on paper, Frank Buglioni is the number 1 light heavyweight in the country. That's how it is on paper. So I went to fight who I think at the moment is the number 2 light heavyweight in the country. Make that fight, we'll find out who's the best. You know, if by Anthony pulling out of that fight, Frank Buglioni knows what his next 2 fights are going to be. He's going to fight 2 Joe Gallagher fighters, because he'll fight Johnson and he'll have to fight Jose Burton afterwards. They're both Joe Gallagher's fight. We all know where Joe Gallagher's lies with his promoter, and we know where the promotion Matchroom do a lot of business with him. So he's going to be up against all that, whether he likes it or not. That's where he's at. But yeah, it's madness for him to not take that fight. So what I'm going to do is, what I don't want to happen, I don't want Frank Buglioni not to fight him. I made Frank Buglioni a huge offer last week, and this stuff that Eddie Hearn's come out with is only as a result of the offer we made. We made him a significant offer, more money than he's ever earned in any fight, Frank Buglioni, to fight Anthony. So forget about the British title, just you 2 guys fighting. Fight for that number 8 spot, fight for that top 10 spot against Anthony Yard. But you know what I'm going to do today? Frank, I'm going to give you £20,000 on top of the offer I've made you to fight Anthony Yard. Don't listen to those advisors around you. Don't listen to them saying to you that you can't, you know, that you're going to give up this big payday. Think of your payday. Think of that big payday, Frank, that you're going to get fighting Anthony Yard to find out who's the best. And after that payday, we will know. In the meantime, if you don't fight him and you get misadvised, in my opinion, by those people around you who are trying to force you into fighting somebody else, Johnson, if you take that advice, you know your next 2 fights are going to be against Gallagher's fighters. That's what they're doing to you. So take our offer. It's a big offer. You know what the numbers are. It's a huge offer. Biggest purse you've ever had. Don't listen to them, because you can make some money with us, and it's the fight that the fans want to see. And as you said yourself on your Twitter, it's a fight you want, Frank. So come and get that money. That pot's sitting there for you. Come and fight Anthony, because that's the one we want. Put that pen down for a second now.
Okay, so basically you're putting all your cards on the table.
Get the fight on.
Yeah.
That's the fight that matters. The rest don't matter. I'm not being disrespectful to the other 2 fighters. We want to see the best fight. Anthony Yard against Buglioni. That's the one the fans want to see. Let's get it on. That's where we are.
Okay, did you get any response from the offer that you made last week from
They
Matchroom?
said that we got something come back from him saying that he wants to fight Callum Johnson. He won't be ready till October anyway, but he wants to fight Callum Johnson. Why does he want to fight him for less money? He fights both of those guys. He still won't get the money we're offering for the one fight. And that spot in the top 10, that's what you want. You want to be a boxer, you want to go up the world rankings. Why do you want to go up the world rankings? Because you want to get a shot at the world title again. I already delivered him a world title shot, Frank. A lovely fella, got a lot of time for him. Delivered him a world title shot. He beats Anthony Yard, he'll be on line to get yet another world title shot.
So you're putting 20 grand on top of the offer?
On top of the offer. It's a huge offer for him.
Okay.
Don't fight for less. Don't listen to him, Frank. Hang on one second. Don't listen to him, Frank. Fight for that big money.
Okay. Is there any more to say on that situation, or
I think it speaks for itself.
Yeah.
What do the fans want to see? They want to see that fight. It's got the ingredients of a great fight. 2 Londoners, a lot of rivalry going. Can Anthony Yard, what's he going to be like if he's doing 10, 12 rounds? Who knows what he's going to be like? We know Frank can punch. We know Anthony punch. We know Frank can do the 12 rounds. We don't know all this about Anthony. So we're saying, come and get it. Let's do it. That's the one the fans want. That's the one that matters. Not the fella who Frank Buglioni knocked out. We want the winner. He wants to fight the winner. We don't fight Jose Burton. He got knocked out by Frank Buglioni. And if we don't make any of these fights, then what will happen to Anthony? He will fight somebody in BoxRec who's rated above all of them. And we'll wait for our answer and see where we go, and we'll announce his opponent next week.
If it doesn't come off what you propose to do between Anthony Yard and Frank Buglioni, what will you do regarding the purse bid situation?
He ain't going to fight Jose Burton.
Definitely not.
It's a step backwards.
Okay.
It's a step back. Go and look at the rankings. It's a step backwards. What for? See the. What do you want to fight the guy? So what does he do? He knocks him out in 1 round. You know what? Well, he's already been knocked out by Frank Buglioni. Who cares? No one cares. Fight the winners. Winner fight the winner.
Frank, what's the situation with Zolani Tete at the moment?
Well, it's funny you should ask that. I mean, I have a great idea. I understand Ryan Burnett, that Ryan Burnett's next fight, which is going to be announced by Eddie Hearn and Matchroom, is going to be against Zakianov for unification for the IBF and WBA title. So I've got a great idea. Get my pen ready. That Ryan, fight Teti. And what we will do, we will pay for Teti. So the promotion doesn't have to pay for him. We'll give him another 20 grand to the promotion. So we're paying for our man Zolani, and we're paying 20 grand to the promotion. And you can say to your promoters, that 6-figure sum or whatever you're paying Zakianov, and the 20 grand, put that in my purse and I can have that. That is a fantastic deal. Financially, that is a fantastic deal for you, because you're getting both the purses and 20 grand, and you're getting your unification fight. Don't let them talk you out of it. You know this is big money. Don't let them try and change your mind. This is a big fight. You fight Zolani Teti, you fight him, you get both purses, because I'm going to pay my man, and I'm going to give you a 20,000 drink on top of that. Don't let those people talk you out of this fight. You know it makes sense.
Has there been a formal offer that's gone in?
I made an offer a couple of weeks ago to him, but they, I don't know if they told him about it, they turned it down, but it's an offer, it's a matter of public record now. That's where we are. That's a no-brainer, isn't it? You know, I wish somebody would say to me, I'll pay for somebody's world title person. I'm paying for my champion's person, and I'll put him in there. I'll bring him to Belfast, park him up in your front room, and you can fight him. So,
just to obviously clarify, today 2 offers have been upped as well. You're offering sort of 20 grand on top of for both.
What we've already offered, to Frank Buglioni. And it makes sense. Winners fight winners. Don't want to fight the guy he knocks out. Want to fight the winner.
Just moving on. I know you had a couple of court cases recently involving yourself and Chris Eubank Jr. and also Paul Smith. Is there any update on them, Frank?
Well, I'm very satisfied with the outcome of the Eubank fight. It was relating to the Tommy Langford pull-out. We're waiting. We went to, it was held by the sports resolutions, so I can't comment on it, but I'm very satisfied with the outcome. And we won the appeal with Paul Smith, and I'm very satisfied with the outcome of that. So they're done and dusted, and we can all move on.
Obviously, we're still waiting over news of the broadcaster for Mayweather-McGregor. From your side, is there anything you can
You've got to speak
add
to George about that. I mean, I don't know what's going on with that. I have no idea, but I understand it's quite imminent, an announcement on that.
But I mean, either way, someone will have it, obviously.
Well, one thing's for sure, the British fans are going to get to see it, aren't they? Wherever they watch it, they're going to get to see it, and they're going to see this event.
No, we're not paying like £80-90 for it, Frank.
It's nothing to do with me. What are you asking me for? I don't set the prices. We don't set the prices. You know, we don't set the prices for this pay-per-view. If they're on Sky pay-per-view or they're available to Sky subscribers, they are the ones who set the price, not the promoter. They set the price.
I was talking to Eddie Hearn the other day. He said that if it's on Sky Box Office, he can't see it being more than $19.95.
He knows better than I do. What do I know? He knows. You know, what do we know about boxing? We just, we've never done anything like this before.
Obviously, you've announced a couple of shows for the new season.
Yeah.
One, obviously, with Liam Smith and Liam Williams, the rematch. We're still awaiting a venue for that.
Yeah.
Likely to be up north or maybe down here?
It'll be up north, and we're announcing the venue next week.
And also Josh Warrington back in Leeds as well, with Catcher and Nurse on it.
Well, there's a few things happening as well. We're having the presser next week for Josh, and I'm hoping the next few days it will, we'll have something resolved. We made a big offer to Selby to fight, a massive offer to Selby, and never anything back from him. Big offer to him. And so actually I thought the fight would happen. I was very disappointed that he's not taking it, but a very big offer was made to him. And Terry Flanagan, he'll be out again at the end of October. He had his injury and he'll be fighting for Jo when we find out when he actually be 100% when he'll be fighting.
Obviously, there was original plans for him to fight on the September 16th show.
Yeah, that was the idea, but as I say, he's got an injury, so sod's law, but poor old Terry, he's got a bit between his teeth. He wants to fight, so we'll get it on ASAP.
I know you kind of addressed this in the press conference, but Tyson Fury sending out a signal that he's retired again yesterday, Frank. Do you know anything about that?
I've got no idea about it. I mean, I've read some of the things that were said. I met with Peter Fury down at the hotel near David Hayes' gym, but he's down there. I know Fury's down there sparring.
There's no conspiracy in that, just want to add, was there?
No, absolutely not. He's his uncle. I mean, geez, come on. Peter was down there. He's sparring with Joe Joyce. It was good sparring for him. And I think David Hayes on holiday. David Hayes weren't in attendance at all. There was no meetings with David Hayes at all. Nothing at all. And I went down to see Peter and talked about what we're doing for the future. So I mean, I hope somebody. I don't think that's going anywhere. I think Tyson knows better than that.
Okay. Anything else you'd like to add, Frank, before we wrap?
No, I think we're all done. We just want to start the season and give the fights that the fans want to see. The fights what people want to try and get out of. The fights the fans want to see. And that light heavyweight division, there's only one fight we all want to see, isn't it? British fight. You know it because you told me you want to see it. And everybody in there, I asked all the press, and what did they all say? To a man. They're not Jose Burton or Frank Buglioni. And to a man in there, and a couple of women in there, they all said, we want to see Buglioni and Yard. And that's the fight we want to deliver. We made a big offer to him. They put the British title on the line. Don't let them talk you out of it.
Frank Warren, thank you very much for talking to IFL TV, and I'm sure we'll catch up with you next week.
You certainly will.
Thank you very much.
Cheers, mate.